This nomination ought to be made by the president we're in the process of electing this year.
And you are convinced, briefly, you are convinced that your Republican senators who are in tough races in November won't pay a political price for it, regardless of the history?
There's a lot of interest on both sides of this issue. The right of center world does not want this vacancy filled by this president. And even though, if you want to discuss the nominee just for a minute, even though Barack Obama calls him a moderate, he's opposed by the NRA, he's opposed by the National Federation of Independent Business, which had never taken a position on a Supreme Court nominee before. The New York Times said it would move the court dramatically to the left. But this is not about this particular judge. This is about who should make the appointment. We're in the process of picking a president, and that new president ought to make this appointment, which will affect the Supreme Court maybe for the next quarter of a century.
Speaking of a new president, if Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders were to win the presidency, is there any chance that Republicans would vote to confirm Merrick Garland during a lame duck session of Congress?
I can't imagine that a Republican majority Congress in a lame duck session, after the American people have spoken, would want to confirm a nominee opposed by the NRA, the NFIB, and the New York Times says would move the court dramatically to the left.
Senator,
this nomination ought to be made by the next president.
So just to put a button on this, are you ruling it out 100%?
Yes.